Thank you so very much for being back, and if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our main conversation for today. China has rejected the United States' threat to take military action against Nigeria, warning against interference in the country's internal affairs. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said Beijing supports Nigeria's right to choose its own development path, insisting that no nation should interfere under the pretext of religion or human rights. This follows United States President Donald Trump's warning to suspend aid or strike Nigeria over alleged persecution of Christians.
Very true. Senate President Godswill Akpabio said the Senate would work with the executive for a coordinated national response to the issue. Now, Trump's comments have drawn widespread criticism, including from U.S. lawmakers Gregory, Meeks, and Sara, who described the threat as irresponsible and reckless.
All right, let's get talking. We still have Innocent and Doluba with us. Innocent, thank you so very much for being back.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
Innocent, let's get talking. This is one story, one news, one item that will last for the next 7 months if care is not taken, because every Nigerian is waiting for that chopper from the United States to come invade Nigeria. And even if it's funny, but you know, it's a developing story. China, United States have been very strong rivals. Not today. It's been there for a very long time. Unfortunately, Nigeria is in the mix now. And if you check the picture, you see the Chinese president on one side, Donald Trump on one side, and our own dear President Bola Tinubu in between, which means that these two forces might love to crush our president, God forbid. But speak to us. When two giants fight, don't you think Nigerians are going to feel the heat? And do they really care about Nigeria in all of this fight?
There are many facets to the story. But the important one is, in my village, the proverb runs, whatever happens to the old black pot will happen to the new white pot. In the days of yore, Nigeria is known to intervene in the government of other countries. You see, everything comes with the veil, the toga it is presented. Nigeria intervened in Sierra Leone, Liberia, other countries at the time under governments that are unpopular, under military juntas, you know, and all of that. So today, it's a shame that Nigeria got herself to where other countries want to intervene. I mean, why are they not intervening in Ethiopia or Morocco or even our brothers in Ghana? So we got this. Chinua Achebe has written in his book, if you bring a decaying log of wood from the forest with soldier ants and different decaying, expect visitors like lizards to come to your house. So we should genuinely be ashamed we got ourselves where we wanted. If this insecurity was not allegedly politicized and has been thoroughly dealt with, I don't think anybody will look our way. Let's be honest, Nigeria is an entirely sovereign country. Nigeria is now open for intervention, which will, so to speak, abuse our constitutional sovereignty. But the cry of the masses has been loud locally here, and the government, whose principal duty is to secure lives and property, have failed below par, not even at par. So I am surprised and somewhat impressed that in the last couple of days, the government is responding to the same cry that the masses have been crying for nearly 2 decades and they never responded to. How come people are telling you, say, you go to Plateau, you go to Benue, and recently, as we speak, in Kwara State, in Enugu State, in Eha Amufu, killer Fulani headsmen have sacked villages and are occupying there. Governor Mba, who just defected to the APC, is quiet. A barrister Ude from Enugu is under nomination for one of the ministerial appointments. Are these political settlements at the expense of the crying and helpless masses. You know. So China has a right to say what they have said, Henry. Do you know why? China is reaffirming her strategic partnership with Nigeria. This also highlights their growing cooperation in mining and infrastructure. You know, Henry, are you aware Chinese firms have invested over $1.3 billion in Nigeria's lithium and mineral value chains in the last 2 years? And so analysts, many people believe it's neither here nor there, but that China's defense of Nigeria reflects their bid to secure their access to Nigeria's critical resources and Africa's market as a whole, you know. But on the flip side, a certain leading member of a Conservative Party in Canada's parliament, Andrew Scheer, has also said he supports what the US wants to do in Nigeria. So that's why I said it's a pity and then it's a shame. We got ourselves where we are for others to come in and treat us this way, Henry.
Sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so how significant is China's defense of Nigeria, you know, in shaping future diplomatic alliances?
Well, I think this opens a new chapter in what people call international relations or international politics. Globally, there's something called balance of power. Now, balance of power speaks to security alliances. And I think you, Kenny and Harry, should take this to the bank. Every international alliance is not to promote peace in that region or global peace. It is to defend their alliance. Israel is a big ally of the United States. If Israel is threatened in the Middle East, their friendship with the United States is not to promote Middle East peace. It's to defend and secure Israel. That includes bombing their neighbors. Are you following? So, the same way, if Russia secures Cuba, it is not to promote peace in the Caribbean, it's to secure and defend Cuba. So for the first time, there is going to be a balance of power situation of international politics of the highest order in Africa. And take it, the juiciest spot in Africa, Nigeria, is at play. And so I don't expect, like Libya, the US coming guns blazing and chasing Gaddafi. I don't expect, like Iraq. There are lots and lots of interest. Some analysts say the US is leading a charge backed silently by France to enter Nigeria and penetrate Niger. The US remotely and France directly are still licking their wounds and refusing to lie down at a defeat by a lowly country like Niger. So I think Niger should be on guard, you know. So, but if you look at Nigeria, the resources in Nigeria, some of their underhand alliances and inclinations makes Nigeria delicate. Nigeria right now is an eggshell. If you attack harshly, the egg will break. China is here, China is involved. China, by balance of power, are prominently a global power, almost a top 2, top 3 commercial partner with the US, and a top ally with Russia, all of them bonded in that global body, BRICS, if you take that into cognizance, which is like a rival body to the global G8, G whatever. So, like I said, it's a shame that the APC government, since 2015, who won a legacy, has watched insurgency balloon in their face and are playing politics with it, and have got poor Nigerians to where we are. And take it from me, when the full threat of President Trump comes to play, a lot of innocent people will die.
To have your say, where do you see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in all of this mix? Has he been of advantage to ensuring that this power play between America and China exists because he is naive of what the retribution would look like, or is he playing more of the domestic politics, thinking that the minions around him who are busy telling him that nothing will happen is better politics and strategy at this point?
I would like to put it this way. I would say two things. So if I say one and I forget, please remind me. I will speak about President Tinubu and then President Trump. So I start with President Tinubu. President Tinubu got Nigeria to where they are right now. President Tinubu, Oyibo will say, as you make your bed, so you lie on it. So President Tinubu is the man at the helms of affairs. And as it is said, the buck stops at the stable. You know, the buck stops at the stable. So President Tinubu, for me, has made the bed. He will lie on it this way. One, it is unprecedented, almost worldwide, for a government nearing 3 years to be without ambassadors, Henry. President Tinubu has set that record globally. Perhaps the presence of an ambassador would not have blown this full scale. Out there in America, President Trump may have had a direct altercation, meeting, diplomatic interaction with our ambassador, who would have relayed this to President Tinubu before it gets this full-blown, nasty media attention. You know. Secondly, since almost 30 months President Tinubu has been president, which single IDP camp has been vacated? Like, we have over about 20 million Nigerians averagely are in IDP camps or less. How many IDP camps has this government managed to close and say, oh, since we came, this IDP camp is closed, the people have returned to their homes? Or how many villages sacked has President Tinubu managed to return the people to their village, even if you cannot close an IDP camp? There is Eha Amufu right now in Enugu State, being overrun by killer Fulani headsmen. Have you gone there to see the people return to their villages and the terrorists are vacated? We have that in Jos. We have that in Benue. The latest is in Kwara. So, and it seems the APC government doesn't respond to the cries of ordinary Nigerians. That is where we can say enter President Trump. Now, I go to President Trump, my second point. The whole world is at a crossroad with President Trump. I want to believe that the United Nations is at a place not contemplated at formation in 1945. The mission of the United Nations is to midwife global peace. But recently, I want to believe one of the most impotent, powerful men in the world is the United Nations Secretary General, as well as members of the United Nations Security Council. South Africa is on record to have reported Israel bombing Gaza to the United Nations Security Council. The United Nations Security Council is on record to have halted Israel. It's on record that Israel never reacted and nothing became of them. The world nowadays seems to take instruction from the United Nations, from the President of the United States, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is presently an unchecked behemoth. So if Donald Trump can bomb Iran, nothing happened. Can checkmate, can align with Israel in the bombing on Gaza, nothing happened. Is on the brink with Venezuela. I dare say, who be Niger if a Trump strike? So as is typical, maybe all of us should go into churches to pray, Henry.
Let's speak to the issue of the genocide. And of course, it's obvious that the killings is not just for the Christians. It equally goes across board, Muslims and traditionalists also. But this thing has ballooned as a result of the pastor in Jos, Pastor Davo, I love to believe is his name, who cried out, personally called on Donald Trump to come help the Christians, and that actually set the ball rolling to the extent that we have seen today. So, what do you think religious sects have not done that had allowed all of this fester? We have the biggest auditorium in Nigeria, with Christians occupying this and coming to service every day, but none of these people are saying anything. Muslims equally have lots of religious leaders there. They're not saying anything. So speak to me on the responsibility of religious opinion leaders who sit on the fence and do not say anything because maybe nepotism is part of the problem.
Enugu is predominantly a Christian state. Killer Fulani headsmen are in Eha and Mufu. They've sacked the village as we speak. The governor, a recent convert into the APC, is quiet. Benue is predominantly a Christian state. Benue is a land for bloodbath and human harvest for Miyetti Allah, Killer Fulani headsmen and all of them. In President Tinubu's visit, while the governor was economical with the truth, hiding behind one finger, the tortive spoke and spoke his mind, if you remember. Southern Kaduna is predominantly Christian. That is a place for human harvest. Taraba is predominantly Christian. The thing is, Miyetti Allah, Kilani, Fulani headsmen, these are people who have taken responsibility for some of the genocides. They are Islamic groups. And if they are Islamic groups in charge of these killings, the facts are not far-fetched. Two, like I said, Oyibo said, as you make your bed, so you lie on it. So I think the Christian Association of Nigeria has been having series of meetings with the government. It didn't pay off. So they escalated beyond Nigeria. It's a fact. Muslims have been killed. We are not saying only Christians have been killed. Muslims have been killed. But where the killers are telling you their religion, I've given you two examples, the Miyetti Allah, the Killer Fulanis, they've all taken responsibility publicly, severally, and are never arrested or prosecuted. This is what gives the killing its coloration, Henry. And as a journalist, I hope I am not speaking rumor.
Said what you said is actually is lucid and absolute there, because the glaring picture that we see, we've never seen maybe a mob of Christians attack a place and say we have massacred these people and we are the ones responsible for it.
And openly take responsibility.
And openly take responsibility. Remember the lynching of Deborah in Borno, a student of one of the institutions there. Those who committed that arson have not yet been brought to book under Muhammad Buhari, and it has spelled into Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he seems not to be doing anything. But do you
think
that
is a crime that happened in daylight, and anybody can recognize the students?
Very well. Very well said. Now, religious tolerance here. What's your take on the Muslim ticket? Do you think this had further ignited or worsened the situation? Because tolerance is about giving everyone the equity to be part of the governance structure. When we have a president who is a Muslim, it's expected we should have a vice who is a Christian. Get the best person to be the Christian vice president. But situation where we have a Muslim as the president, a Muslim as the vice president, don't you think all of this worsens the situation, really?
Well, insurgency preceded the Muslim ticket, Henry. I don't like the Muslim.
Are you still there?
Ticket. Okay. I think it's a flagrant use. Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go on.
So I will start afresh again. I will
Yes,
start
please do.
afresh again.
Yeah, please do.
Insecurity preceded the Muslim tickets. I don't like the Muslim an insult on Nigeria's Christian population. But we cannot point at the Muslim ticket as the cause of insecurity to the level where it is. But I think that for the kind of multi-religious, multicultural enclave Nigeria is, all of those sensitivities should be respected. It should start at state level. And that's why I have a lot of regard for Lagos State. Metropolitan as it is, no single religion succeeds the other at the gubernatorial level. This governor is Muslim, the next one is Christian, and everybody enjoys live and learn. But where malady, and it has gotten to the federal level, people are disgruntled about it. I don't care, but I don't like it. But a lot of people are not taking it lying down, and that's where the wahala lies. I think it's not something that should come to stay. That's what I would say.
And I think we have to leave it at this point. Hope we had more time, but for the want of it, we just have to leave it at this point. Thank you so very much, Innocent, for being here and for granting us your time and, most importantly, your submission. We truly do appreciate you as always.
The pleasure is mine. Have a nice day.
Yeah, same here. All right, people, that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you for being part of it and for making this a date. Please do well to follow us if you may. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
I am Kenley Bodori.
Have yourself a splendid day. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. And we'll see you on another side.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.